Hello everyone. In this session we will understand Java Access Modifier. It is also called class visibility. So in Java there are four types of access modifier. They are public, protected, default and private. So the thing is that in encapsulation it providing the protection of the data. So first let's understand encapsulation at high level. What is encapsulation? So simply we can say that encapsulation is a way or process of hiding the data, or another word you can also say that encapsulation is the process of hiding the data and methods and binding into the single unit which is called class. Means in encapsulation we bind everything in a class and provide the control access to the outer world. So how we will provide the control access? So for this there is a keyword public, protected, default and private. So using these four keywords we basically provide the protection or control over the data and expose the data to the outer world. So what is the use of all these four keywords? Let's understand. So in this diagram you can see here public means if you mark anything public, then anywhere it can be accessed. So what you can mark? So you can mark public to class, means public keyword can be used with class, variable, methods, interface. So with the almost all everything, means in Java there are class and interface, method, variable. There are four important things where you can use this public. And if you mark anything public, it can be accessed anywhere, means within a package or outside of package it can be accessed. You can see here that public modifier can be used in a same package, means same class, same package, subclass and different package. Means public can be used everywhere. Here you can see it can be used everywhere. Protected is little bit restricted. It protected variable, methods or class can be used within a class, same package, sub package. Means sub, when I say sub package means in a child class, means in inheritance there is a super class and sub class, means parent class or child class. So if you mark anything protected in super class, that thing can be used in child class, so which is also called subclass. So protected things can be used in a inheritance, but it cannot be used in other package. You know that in Java class are organized in a package. So in Java there are lots of inbuilt classes which are organized into the package. Similarly, when you work on the real-time project, you have to create multiple multiple package basically. So package provide the segregation of the class. So it means similar kind of class we will keep in one package, different types of class we will keep in a different package. So basically it provide the category so that we can manage the tons of class efficiently and anybody can search it or work easily. So protected cannot be used outside of package. And default, when I said default, so there is no such thing like default keyword, but if you don't mention anything, means if you simply mention like that int a without public, protected or private, then it is called default. So default can be used within a class, same package, but it cannot be used in a inheritance, means subclass or different package. And private is most restricted and it can be used just within a class So private is highly restricted. So generally if you don't want to expose anything to the outer world, then you must have to mark instance variable or method private. But if you want to expose something to all, then you can mark public. And similarly if you want to use anything within a inheritance relationship, then you can mark the thing protected. So we will understand with examples, but this is the high level overview how access modifier works. So these form modifier are used in encapsulation to protecting the data, and it is a very important things to understand. So basically it provides the security of the data. So here another example you can in pictorial way you can understand, like suppose we have a class A, so and some properties are private, so within a class A you can use, but in class B you cannot use. And also suppose we have a class C and it is in different package, like you can see here com.example means class A and class B within this com.example package. So private cannot be used even in the same package, or of course outside of package it is also not be used, but default can be used within a package. Suppose we have a class A and you have mentioned something like one in a class A, suppose you have mentioned one variable like int A. So int A can be used in class B but cannot be in class C because class C is in different package. Similarly for protected, protected can be used within a package and outside of package as well if they have inheritance relationship. Suppose class B is extended in class C, then in class C you can use class B protected properties. And public, if you mark anything public, suppose in a class A and class B something some variables are marked as public, then you can use in a class A, B and C, everywhere you can use. So these are the things. So here is another example of, you can see like through the real world analogy, like we have a home. So in public, here anybody can see, outer part means roof they can see, anybody can see, but protected within a room only means family member can see, family member and relatives, and default these are the common area. So there only means people in the house can see or move around. So thing is that, and private is most restricted like your bedroom. So thing is that public can be accessed from anywhere. Protected is represent the relationship. If there is any relationship, then only protected variable can be used. And default, like within a house you can move around, means within a certain package you can understand like a home. So within a home you can move. And private is like a highly restricted area. So if anything marked private, it cannot be go outside. So let's move with the examples. So I'm moving to IntelliJ, and here I have already prepared for you to explain the thing quickly. So here I am also add the definition of the encapsulation. So encapsulation is the process of wrapping data and variables together in a single unit called a class while restricting direct access to the data. So we have already discussed, and in different way you can also say it. So we have already discussed many things, and let's discuss another example. Like we have a suppose ATM class, and ATM class has suppose one variable like balance. So and you don't want to expose this violence to the outer world, then you just mark this uh, balance private, so that way other class cannot access this balance variable directly, but they want to suppose access it, then they will access only through the method. So what is happening in encapsulation? In encapsulation, we directly doesn't deal with instance variable, means we directly does don't interact with instance variable. Instead we use methods to interact with the variable. So what is the benefit? Suppose here you have mark balance private, but we have a method get balance and it is a public, so this method can be accessed from anywhere and ultimately it will expose this balance. So what is the benefit of here? So a benefit is that in this method, if you access this balance through this get balance, then you have a control here. You can here put some authentication logic as well, and once a user is authenticated, then only you can return this balance, else you can throw the error, means authentication error, user is not valid and something like that. So if you interact with the methods, then you have full control over the data. Something you want to restrict, then you can put the logic and restrict the access, and something, and means it basically method, inside method you can put the logic to control the things. And suppose if you return balance here, then other can modify it, so you can also create a duplicate copy and then you just return the copy. So if anybody modify the duplicate modify in a duplicate copy, then original will be intact. So this is another level of security. So thing is that in encapsulation we don't allow direct access of instance variable, means this instance variable, you know that if we don't use a static keyword, then it is called instance variable. So here is instance, and you can create a number of instance variable. There is also no such limitation. So like here I have mentioned that one balance, and another variable you can create like that message, if some money, like you can initialize money withdraw something, withdraw. So you can add a number of variables. So another variable you have mentioned that. So thing is that encapsulation provide the protection of the data, and it provide the control way of, basically it's the controller of the data. And who controls the data, which functionality controls the data? So in simply there is a method controls the whole things, and if logic allow to expose the data, then only we will expose. So encapsulation overall access the means it can provide full access on the data. So that's the thing. So I hope you understood the encapsulation parts. So we will meet in next session. Thanks for now.